Hi everybody, welcome along once again to Speedway Gladiators, the program that looks at Speedway, particularly in the Robinson Prestige International Speedway. Coming up in the program, we look at highlights from last weekend, which featured, of course, the 25th running of the Robin Pratt Stockcar Memorial. We also look at some of the big moments in the Robin Pratt Stockcar Memorial. Ella Hislop is a newbie in the saloon ranks. We catch up with her. We look at last season's Manawatu Saloon Champs, and we check out the updated travel managers' season points. Last weekend, the big one was the Robin Pratt Stockcar Memorial. 25 years since Robin passed, we caught up with some of the major action.
Luke Harris, 35P, opened the adult ministock program with a confident drive, controlling restarts and traffic to take a clear race win. 37P saw JJ Williams in the seat. He chased hard in second, while 33P John O'Maldy kept the pressure on throughout the middle stages to finish third. 22P Chris Rasmussen managed a steady run for fourth, and 77P Shane McEwen rounded out the top five after a tight battle in the closing laps. The second heat went the way of 77P Shane McEwen, who handled early stoppages and held strong pace to the finish. 33P John O'Maldy kept him honest in second, with 37P JJ Williams again inside the top three. 94P Jack Bainan crossed in fourth after a well-managed race, and 35P Luke Harris added a fifth place result to complement his earlier victory. The feature saw another composed drive from 35P Luke Harris securing his second win of the night in a strong overall showing. 94P Jack Bainan finished close behind in second, while 187P Eva Johnson delivered her best run of the meeting to take third. 77P Shane McEwen held fourth, and 37P JJ Williams completed the top five after working through traffic late in the race. The adult mini stocks delivered three fast and competitive heats, highlighted by strong performances from 35P Luke Harris, 77P Shane McEwen, and 94P Jack Bainan, along with an impressive feature drive from 187P Eva Johnson. A great showcase of emerging talent and close racing throughout the night. The first outing of the night for the historic stock cars delivered a brilliant old school battle as 3NZ Brendan Locke and 6P Elvis Rollins went to war from the opening corner, trading bumps and swapping the lead more than once. In 15, car Malcolm Clawson held a strong third, while 49 Sam Marsh and 16 Shane Hobbin chased hard behind them. But up front, the duel continued, with Locke finding a final burst in the closing laps. At the flag, 3NZ Brendan Locke took the win ahead of 6P Elvis Rollins in the tank, with 15 and Malcolm Clawson completing a tough, well-earned top three. Race 2 saw the 16 car of Shane Hobbin jump to an early lead in the ex-Keith Turner machine, pulling clear of 81 Nick Howard and 6P Charlie Harper in the opening laps. But the race swung dramatically when the 98 Brent Body charged forward, attacking the high line and taking over the lead in heavy traffic. The order shuffled again as Harper and 3NZ Brendan Locke moved into podium contention, and Hobbin slipped back after leading the early stages. In the final run to the line, it was 98 Brent Body who claimed victory, with 6P Charlie Harper second and 3NZ Brendan Locke in third. The final historic stock car race saw the 15 of Malcolm Clawson once again take control from the start, with 6P Charlie Harper locked into his rear bumper and 81 Nick Howard holding third. 62W Ian Frew and Dave Evans and another 6P circulated inside the top five as the field worked through lap traffic. Clawson managed the pace perfectly, never letting Harper draw alongside despite constant pressure. In the closing moments, the pack settled, and 15 Malcolm Clawson powered to the checkered flag. 6P of Charlie Harper securing second, and 81 Nick Howard finishing third to wrap up a strong showing from the historic class. Fast opening saloon heat saw 57P Calvin Honore control the pace from the front, managing traffic well. 242P Ashley King worked her way into second after a strong middle stint, and 81P John O'Mason made a decisive move to secure third. 4P Stu Sari charged late to fourth, with 7P Clayton Moore completing the top five after a hard-fought run through the closing laps. Heat 2 delivered a confident drive from 7P Clayton Moore, who grabbed the early lead and held off pressure despite multiple cautions slowing the race pace. 242P Ashley King moved through strongly to second, while 6P Ben Jones held a solid line to take third. 4P Stu Sari stayed committed to the top side to place fourth, and 57 Calvin Honore completed the top five after battling multiple cars in traffic. The feature race saw 242P Ashley King take command from the start and control the race despite intense pressure. 7P Clayton Moore searched high and low but had to settle for second, while 57P Calvin Honore held third in a tightly packed top group. 81P John O'Mason crossed in fourth, and 4P Stu Sari rounded up the top five after another strong outside lane effort. A composed drive from King to wrap up the program. Saloons brought hard, fast, close action all night with 242p Ashley King, 7p Clayton Moore, and 57p Calvin Honore, the standouts in a hard-fought program. The opening Youth Ministock heat had plenty of drama, including a big rollover for 22p Charlotte Blaine. That brought out the Reds and gave everyone a fright before she was checked and okay to continue her night. On the restart, 77p Will Carroll Holland controlled the tempo and eased away from the field. 21p Mason Taylor chased hard in second, with 23p Kobe Dawn completing the top three. 48p Keaton Herco and 62p Braxton Satherley rounded out a strong top five after a busy run in traffic. Race 2 saw 18p Aidan Waihi jump brilliantly from the outside of the front row and immediately start to stretch away, carving through lap traffic with real confidence. Behind him, 21p Mason Taylor initially held second, but the battle for the podium was fierce as 294p Charlie Newman and 23p Kobe Dawn fought their way into contention. At the line, the results have Waihi taking the win from Taylor in second, with Newman third, Dawn fourth, and Keaton Herco completing the top five after a strong late run. The Youth Ministocks feature produced a great scrap at the front as 23p Kobe Dawn and 77p Will Carroll Holland led away from the green. Dawn hugged the pole line while Carroll Holland searched for a way around, with 21p Mason Taylor and 18p Aidan Waihi right in the mix, and 294p Charlie Newman working through traffic just behind them. After intense laps amongst the front pack, Dawn held his nerve to grab the feature win, with Carroll Holland second, Taylor third, Waihi fourth, and Newman locking in fifth in the provisional order. Youth Ministocks produced tight racing all night with standout drives from 23p Kobe Dawn, 77p Will Carroll Holland, and 21p Mason Taylor in a fast, competitive program. Stock cars are split into two single race qualifying groups and a repechage for the Robin Pratt Memorial. Group 1 hit the clay first, and it was 48p Josh Mulcahy who made the statement, grabbing the lead and never looking back. 96G Brad McGee chased him hard all the way, with 135p Jaden Hall charging to third. 52V Mitch Lockett and 85G Ethan Rees completed a fast top 5. Your top 12 in Group 1, 48p Mulcahy, 96G McGee, 135p Hall, 52V Lockett, 85G Rees, 14p Hatapu, 10p Nathan Rees, 38p Coley, 19V Mike Mooney, 77p Tanetti, 91p Wade McNabb, and 99p Burford. A tough opening heat that set the tone early in the stock car program. Group 2 launched with 99V Cody Lockett rocketing to the front, putting a commanding drive to the checkered flag. 86p Beau McLeod held strong for second, and 77p Curtis Tanetti kept his night rolling with another top result in third. 85G Ethan Rees and 11G Peter Rees filled out the top 5 as the battle stayed fierce. Top 12 in Group 2 with 99V Lockett, 86p McLeod, 77p Tanetti, 85G Ethan Rees, 11G Peter Rees, 13V Hay, 24p Powell, 72p Norman, 39p Munn, 38p Coley, 14p Hatapu, and 91p Wade McNabb. Another hard-charging heat with big points on the line. Last chance qualifying to find our final 12, and the pressure was massive as the stock car repechage roared into life. 13V Lucas Hay got the jump and controlled the race to earn his transfer spot, with 77p Curtis Tanetti refusing to quit and taking second. 45p Aaron Watson, 11p Brendan Rees, and 82p Royden Winstanley completed a brutal top 5. The top 10 from the repechage were 13V Hay, 77p Tanetti, 45p Watson, 11p Brendan Rees, 82p Winstanley, 96p Hendon, 34p Mason, 10p Nathan Rees, 39p Munn, and 38p Coley. After a desperate battle where every position mattered and nothing was left on the table, the Robin Pratt Memorial Finals fired into life, and it was 85G Ethan Rees who sent a clear message early on, controlling from the front of the field in the opening laps. 96G Brad McGee stayed with him, keeping the pressure on as the two Gisborne mates carved through traffic. 31p Jared Davis was strong again, holding third, while 133p Tyler Walker kept himself right in the title hunt in fourth. Former champion 82p Royden Winstanley rounded out a fast top 5 as the pace never let up. Ethan Rees looked composed, working the low line with precision, while behind him McGee searched for a lane to challenge. Davis and Walker swapped positions through lap traffic, and Winstanley kept them honest as the laps wound down. For Rees, the heat win was critical, keeping him firmly in contention for the Memorial title as the night moved deeper into championship territory. Top 5 for Heat 1 were 85G Ethan Rees, second 96G Brad McGee, third 31p Jared Davis, fourth 133p Tyler Walker, and fifth 82p Royden Winstanley. Heat 2 launched with intensity as 133p Tyler Walker executed a brilliant drive, timing traffic perfectly to take a crucial victory. 155p Caleb Coxhead backed up his form with a strong second place, while 99v Cody Lockett kept his hopes alive, finishing third. 85g Ethan Rees continued to bank vital points with a controlled fourth, and 172p Daniel Burmeister completed the top five after surviving multiple contact moments. Mid-race carnage changed the shape of the second heat as several contenders found themselves sidelined and the points picture tightened. Walker's ability to absorb pressure from Coxhead was a defining moment as the laps ticked away. Lockett was fast all race, and Rees drove a smart race to preserve his car, while Burmeister absorbed heavy attention from the bumper brigade. The top five in Heat 2 provisionally were 133p Tyler Walker, second 155p Caleb Coxhead, third 99v Cody Lockett, fourth 85g Ethan Rees, and fifth place 172p Daniel Burmeister. With the prestigious Robin Pratt Memorial on the line, Heat 3 exploded into one of the most intense stock car races of the season. This heat was chaos. Cars blocked, bumped, and hammered each other as the championship rivals tried to take control. Ethan Rees and Tyler Walker were deep in traffic, targeted by heavy blockers as teams attempted to swing the title. Meanwhile, Mulcahy stayed composed, Leary Smith surged, and the McNabb brothers produced one of the drives of the night. Top 5 Heat 3 provisionally. First place goes to Josh Mulcahy in the 48p, second 212v Blair Reeve Smith, third 91p Wade McNabb, fourth 9p Zion McNabb, and fifth place 31v Ashton Mooney. At the end of the night, the table was tied at the top, and we had to have 4 laps to decide a champion. 85g Ethan Rees and 155p Caleb Coxhead squared up in a runoff that instantly delivered drama. Coxhead fired hard early, but Rees turned underneath, fired the bumper, and Coxhead came to a stop with lift arm issues. Unable to refire, Rees powered away, taking an emotional Robin Pratt Memorial victory. A massive moment for the Rees family, with brother Asher taking a win in the past, and dad Peter having 7 of these titles. Finding Stockcar triumph, an event Robin would have been proud of, and a moment that his wife Trish was absolutely over the moon about.
Well, the action was aplenty in the Robin Pratt Stockcar Memorial. Let's check it out.
The 13, he's pushing through as well as Coley. The 38 goes through. One up, one over big time. Is that Callum Hendon? The 96. So Hendon goes up, and over the front of Tony Norman. Callum Hendon, that was spectacular indeed. Davis just put a little bit of a gap between himself and Tyler Walker for the third spot as Ethan Rees fires Lucas Hay into the wall there, which slotting in behind. Tanetti goes with him. Walker just drifts out wide. We got one in the wall. Jared Davis is up and Jared Davis is over. So from third to on his lid, Jared Davis is out of the points. Asher Rees is in the wall as well. Asher out of this one by the looks of it. Lucas Hayes being spun up to 13V. And Curtis Tanetti gets spun up there by Jessica Powell and gets taken by Robinson. One's up the wall, comes down. That being one of the McNabbs, it's Zion in the 9. It's Jessica Powell, fires herself in hard to the pit gate. The 172 and the 126, a couple of great stock car blockmen. Davis is on the pole line as well. Cody Lockett's being spun round, courtesy of Brendan Rees.
Ella Hislop is now moved from ministocks to Saloons, the 17p. She's had a couple of meetings. We caught up with her to find out how she's adjusting to the Saloons. Ella Hislop has graduated from the ministocks into this immaculate-looking saloon car we've got right behind us. Ella, congratulations. It's a move. Before we talk about the saloon and what led to the saloon, just a recap about the ministocks. What do you think you learnt out of the experience in the ministocks?
I learnt a lot of driving techniques and that it's smooth as fast.
If you go back to the days in the ministock, what do you think were the highlights for you?
Oh, I think it was being around the great people. Like, we had an awesome friend group that we would go travelling to different tracks with, and just, I think it was just a good sport if you wanted to get into Speedway.
Got to the stage where you're in the youth ministocks and you aged out. Now, obviously you had a choice of maybe continuing to the adult ministock or doing something else. What were the considerations that went through your mind?
Well, With Mum racing adults, we kind of thought about racing adults with me this season. And then we saw a car for sale and we thought it was too good not to buy. So we did end up purchasing it and we sold both the mini stocks during last season.
Was it the fact that the car became available and you decided, okay, let's go this way? Or was that what convinced you to go into saloons?
I've always liked watching saloons and I always thought it would be a good class to go into. It was a hard decision to choose what class to go in. Obviously, I wanted to kind of go into stock cars a little bit at the start of last season, and then I kind of realised how much contact there actually is, and I don't think I was really ready for it. So I think saloons was the best choice, and because I'm all about speed and power.
Did you decide to go saloons before the car came on the market, or did the car come on the market and you thought maybe this is the way I should go?
We were on the idea of going into saloons before the car came up on the market, and I think when the car came up on the market, it just was like, oh, I thought it was quite exciting to get the opportunity to have a look at it. And I was still sitting on the trailer. We started it up and I was so happy just to hear it alive. But obviously, yeah, we had a few issues with it. I guess that's part of racing and that's what happens.
What were the family's idea or thinking when you decided saloons might be your future?
I think Dad was quite excited to have a go in it, and he was lucky enough to have the first go in it.
He's had a race in it?
Yes.
Where was that?
At
Wanganui?
Harrisville.
Oh, Harrisville.
During last season, and he blew it up.
See, this is what happens to guys from the sidecar ranks.
When we pulled the motor apart, there was obviously a few issues, and we got it fixed, and now it's good to go, I guess. I was still painting the car and making it all pretty when we were, when practice was happening in Palmy. We were aiming to go for Wellington, and we didn't have our motor back from the place where we get it fixed. So we spent an all-nighter on the Saturday and made it on the Sunday about like 3:30.
So tell me about the first night in Wellington, coming out of the pit gate, and the brand spanking new Hislop 17P.
It was definitely exciting and nerve-wracking since I've never driven it before. The first time I actually got to drive it was to Scrutineering. But other than that, I just started off the back and was just trying new things and just experimenting and just seeing what the car was like and how it would handle. And it went better than I thought it would. And I wasn't losing that much pace from the others.
What have your buddies at Speedway saying, you know, the ones that were in the mini stocks with you?
I think some of them thought it was pretty cool and definitely loved the design that we did, where it's retro, classic, and it's all hand-painted.
It looks fantastic. It's a great idea. And, of course, one of your sponsors, the Lucas Oil products on the side. I mean, that's a great sponsor to have.
Yeah, definitely. Like, they've helped us out heaps this season, which we're really grateful for.
What do you want to achieve by the end of the season when you look back on your season? What would you like to tick off?
I would obviously like to take off my first one in the saloon, but obviously that's really hard when you're competing with such great cars and great drivers. So I think just getting more track time and just travelling to different tracks would be quite awesome, and just competing at big events.
Just looking in the car, there's a few different controls, and can you give us just a wee quick rundown of what some of those controls do?
So obviously we've got 2 gear sticks, which is definitely a bit different. We've got brake bias, which helps set our brakes up, and we've got an idler control, and then we've got a red lever which locks our right wheel, I think, our right front wheel. Which helps us get into the corner or not get into the corner, just depending on the track. And then we just got, you know, your normal ignition switch, your AC fan, switches to help cool the motor down.
Ella, I appreciate your time. Thank you. All the very best in this new class for you. I think you've got a great attitude, and we look forward to seeing some great things. If maybe not this year, maybe next year, and maybe the year after that. And wouldn't it be amazing to have an NZ sign on the car one day?
Oh,
Who
You can
knows?
only dream.
Ella, all the very best. 17p. Keep safe, and we'll keep a close eye on you. See how you go for the season.
Thank you.
Ella Hislop, the 17p Saloon, first year. And already, I think, a great attitude. Every week she appears on the track, she just learns a little more. And that's really what the sport is all about. A few more meetings under the belt, and who knows where Ella could go in the sport. Great to talk to her. 17p. Keep an eye out when you see it around the tracks. Let's go back and look at last season's Manawatu Saloon Champs.
And we get the green.
Good start too.
Adamston gets it again. The 23 out of Stratford. Mike Denham looking through the inside of Clayton Moore. Can't get it done there. Stu Sowry, the 4P, just moves a wee bit higher on the track. And Scott Hadley will find himself in the 5th place. Look at Ashley King, Calvin Honore. Great tussle between those two drivers. Here comes Ashley King, the 242. She's had a couple of seconds and a third at the Manawatu Champs. She's trying to put herself into some good points. So she gets a good grid for the feature race later on tonight. But it's still Mike Adamson, the 23 out of Stratford, leading the way. Clayton Moore home in second at the moment. Mike Denham, Stu Sowry, Ashley King. Oh, there's a bit of a tussle there between Wayne Melling and Scott Hadley. Hadley just gets past there by Melling. Ashley King trying every which way to get by Stu Sowry. There we go. Bit of run, bit of momentum into 3 that time. And I'd say she's going to pick the spot up this time. She does. Awesome driving there from the 242. Came from a grid 10. She's up into 4th. Ashley King is now trying to find a way by that 8P car, Mike Denham. She's tucked right in there. Can she get a good run off too? Oh, the race leader's just pulled off Mike Adamson. So it's going to be Clayton Moore that gets the white flag from Mike Denham. Ashley King, big gap back to Stu Sowry, who's holding off Wayne Melling. Has King got anything in turn 3? No, she doesn't have the run. But it'll be Clayton Moore. 7P is going to pick up the checker flag. Takes out heat 1 from Mike Denham and King. We're going to get the green this time round. And it's dropped. Laking with the jump there over Mason. Fletcher on the outside as well, up into 3rd. Ashley King trying to follow through, but Melling's just a wee bit too crossed up there, the 227 out of Hawke's Bay. Now King makes her move to the high line. Can't quite still get it done. She's lost a spot actually here to Mike Gaskin. Although back on the loud pedal, there goes Ashley King. Recomposes herself. Fletcher just easing into the track here in Palmy. It's been a while since he's been here. Laking out in front though, the 7B ahead of the 88P of Mason. 1NZ Fletcher back to the 227 Wayne Melling, Ashley King, Mike Gaskin. Bit of a gap between the top 3 and Melling. Oh, was that almost one going sideways? Melling there. Hosking, here he comes from the rear of the field, the defending champ though. Up into the 5th spot there, ahead of, behind Melling. Now he's ahead of Melling, chasing down Halcrow. Fletcher, he can't get by Jono Mason, and Mason in his first season will be loving holding off the New Zealand champion here. As Fletcher is battling to get by, he might have him this time round. Can he get the pace out of 2? He's 2 sideways here, the 1NZ. He had a good drive to the outside of him. He just has to get it straight on the exit. And this time round, he gets him on 4. Already pulls a gap and chasing down Laking. And here we go. Fletcher, what's he got for Laking? They would have clocked a few laps together, no doubt. And Fletcher gets the power down in the grandstand straight away. Has the high line through 3 and 4 and gets to the lead, the 1NZ. From grid 6, he's up to the lead with the white flag and 1 to run here for the 1NZ. Ahead of the 7B, 88P, 242 and the 37. but it's all the 1NZ, brings it home, takes out Heat 2 of the Manawatu title. He's got a fair few fans out there and a fair few watching at home as well. 444 setting the pace, really slow as well. Hosking does get the run though, the 37p out in front. It's the 1NZ, he's in mid-pack. See how far forward he can make it through after winning the first heat. 42 already on the infield there. Byron Dennis out of this one. But Paul Hosking out to a great lead already over the 444G. Dan Westham, Hannah Thompson, Danny Halcrow, Ben Jones. There's Ethan Cook. Now Jared Fletcher's got the high line working with Cook. Goes to the inside of the 76G. He's going to realise that they're into a bit of slow traffic as they catch the 24 and the 15. Fletcher's going to have to go high here. Look at Ethan Cook right on the wall. I had to check up. Fletcher gets the move. No, Cook back on him. Hoskins is checked out here. Cook again winding up the 76, but he's got Hannah Thompson trying to get by the 444. Ben Jones always need to make a third line right up the top, and that's what Cook's trying to do. Hoskins checked out once again. Here we go, Ethan Cook now to the high line. He's got them here. Here goes Cook. The 76 gets by the 24, the 6 and the 15. Now he's got the top working. Fletcher goes with him. Don't know if they'll catch Hosking. Fletcher right on that right front of Thompson. Gets by, up into fourth. Now he goes to work on Weston. Oh, they've caught Hosking. Here goes Ethan Cook around the outside of the 37p and takes the lead with a white flag, one to go. Fletcher takes the dive to the inside of Hosking. Can he get the CB2 working down low? Hosking holds on. Ethan Cook, he's got the 76G well sorted. He's on for the win. It's a drag to the line for the second spot, and it will be Hosking. Hosking gets it. The 37p comes home with a second.
Welcome back to the Robinson Prestige International Speedway as we take a look at week 4 of the Travel Managers Seasons Points Chase. Although the classes were not the feature divisions on race night, Saloons, Adult Ministocks and Youth Ministocks all added to their season's totals with points awarded to the top 6 finishers in each eligible race. In the Saloons, Saloon points table continues to tighten up. 7p Clayton Moore leads the way on 35 points. 57 Calvin Honoré sits second with 31 points. And 242p Ashley King holds third with 29 points. In the adult mini-stocks, plenty of movement in the adult mini-stock standings as well. 33p John O'Moldy and 35p Luke Harris are locked together, tied for the lead on 27 points each, and 94p Jack Bennon sits third on 21 points. In the youth mini-stocks, 23p Kobe Dawn extends his advantage at the top with 62 points. 294p Charlie Newman follows up on 53 points, and 24p Mason Taylor rounds out the top 3 with 40 points. That wraps up week 4 of the Travel Manager Seasons Points Chase. We'll be back next week to see who's gaining momentum as we move deeper into the season. Until then, keep it fast, fair, and right on the clay. That's Speedway Gladiators for another week. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to catching you back next week. Meantime, keep safe.